Hello, weirdos and malafolks. How you all doing today? I am Guslato, also known as Doug, also known as Top Doug Design, and I am here to paint for you and dance and apparently sing, according to Play Weird today. So, I'm just here for your entertainment purposes. I'm going to tweak my camera a little bit there. Okay, that's good. But yeah, so I am continuing work on my mercenary crew. Last time around, I did Miss Deed, who's alternate Taylor. And I'm going to keep going by getting started on the Master herself's Viktorias Chambers. Now, because they are, one is the human, the other's her doppelganger. I'm not going to tell you which one. I know, but I'm not telling you. I'm going to be painting up side by side at the same time, basically, just to keep a consistent look across the two models. But I am going to be giving each of them different color hair. So, okay. Sometimes I sing. I do. I'm a man of many obscure talents. I also juggle, but that doesn't work very well on the stream. So I'm very melodic. Yes. So probably, I think I'm going to give one of them pink hair, and the other one is going to get green hair. Or maybe pink and purple, or green and purple. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how the mood strikes me, because I'm not starting on their hair. But yeah, so let's kick this shindig off by taking a look at their outfit there. Okay. So we're going to start out with the coat. Let's put on the painting glasses. Oh, no, I totally didn't even grab my brushes. Hey, I got brushes now. Totally prepared here. I'm what you would call a professional. Yeah, I love purple. I use purple a lot in my Neverborn. So, might end up doing that. I really do enjoy purple. But I kind of want to maybe... Yeah, the video is choppy. But, all right. So, yeah, let's start out with the cloak. Like her coat. That's a fun coat. So, we're going to go... like Max Headroom, but in a fun way, or like Max Headroom in like a annoying way? Oh, don't know if you know this about Max Headroom, but he wasn't actually computer generated. They actually put an actor in a mask because at the time, it wasn't in the CGI technology wasn't advanced enough to actually do that. I know, silly little thing to know. But, I'm here to fill your head with random information. All right. The joys of technology. Yeah. To be fair, most of the reason why I know that is because of Ready Player One. Which I love that book. Ready Player 2, unfortunately, was a little bit of a disappointment. But, you know what? Still a decent book. It's one of the audiobooks I've gone and just listened to. Ready Player One. Listened to that audiobook several different times. Hey, McBluff, how you doing? Yeah, I've listened to that audiobook several different times. Actually listened to that one on my way to and from Las Vegas Open. Because I looked at how much time it would be to listen to two of them. Oh, both of them back to back. And it figured, hey, that's a good amount of time. It's almost just slightly less time than it was going to take me to drive to and from Vegas. So, boom. Perfect set of audiobooks to listen to on my Grand Vegas road trip. I'm doing well. How are you doing, McBluff? And we're just, laying in the base coat, so we're being a little sloppy here right now. Getting it all over the base there. Just going down here. Slot that on. As per usual, I did these up with a Zenithal Prime, because it makes it fast to work with and pre-shades the model. And gets us a really good look. I am, in fact, painting the Viktorias today. I've noticed that in my local area, there haven't been as many people playing the Outcast lately. So I'm like, okay, you know what? That should be what I get going on next. My plan for the year is to, by year end, have at least one crew painted up per faction that I could have a new player demo with. Okay, so I was just looking at kind of what she's got, what her outfit here is. So it looks like she's only got her cloak there up to her waist, because she's got a waist cincher, which that's fun. And then a shirt on underneath the waist cincher. I'm going to be doing a very similar paint scheme to these as I did with Misdeed, to kind of, tie the whole crew together. I know it kind of ends up making it look like, hey, they all shopped at the same store, which in reality isn't super realistic. But it gets that nice, consistent look across a crew, and I like to do that. Try to make sure at least I'm leaving. Okay, I got that in frame there. Want it in frame, but not in the way. Her coat kind of has cut off sleeves. Okay, cool. Tweak my window a little bit here so that I can see how I'm framed up, because it does. Make sure that I am actually on screen for you all there. Ooh, iconic sun. I'm jealous. I need to get that model. I want that model. I want to paint that model. I want to love that model. Give it the delightful, delightful paint job. I haven't actually painted all that many large scale. By large scale, I mean I've painted large models, but there's a difference between the way you paint, a big monster and like a large scale human model, I suppose. Oh yeah, those earrings sound like fun to do. If you're turning them into earrings, after you're done painting them, you're going to definitely want to make sure you seal them. Like I seal things that I'm using on the tabletop, but I do that with like one coat of matte varnish. If you're going to be wearing them as earrings, you're probably going to actually want to put a couple coats of gloss varnish on them and then do a matte varnish over that to really protect your paint job. Awesome. That's a solid way to do it. I look forward to seeing those because that sounds really, really cool. And okay, second. Okay, sorry. I was like, what? I had to catch up on chat there. Yeah. Oh, Vagrant Song. Yes. I picked up a copy of Vagrant Song at Gen Con, but I wasn't picking it up for myself. I picked it up for one of my local guys. And didn't try to get a second one at Gen Con because I felt like, that would just be a jerk move. So I don't have a copy for myself yet. All right. So let's see. So you have a red shirt and you don't have a waist shirt. Okay. Let's go with the pants now. Since that's going to take a little bit to dry, since I got to put that on there thin, let's go with the pants. And of course, my paint is clogged. Time to bust out the little needle and stab it. Stabbing my paint. I'm stabbing my paint. Okay, there we go. So, couple things that is really, really handy. So, if you ever hear this weird buzzy noise, I've got a Vortex Mixer, which is you know, it's used for like stirring up test tubes, shaking up tattoo ink, etc. So, I've got a Vortex Mixer. I would pull it onto camera, except it's like suction cupped in place. It's a pain to pull it off. So, I recommend. I actually have a bunch of these inside all of my dropper bottles, which I use as an agitator. So I like these over like a lot of people will use ball bearings or like glass balls. I enjoy these because they are just barely small enough to. So when I do this, I actually will go and gotta pop off the nozzle, and the you kind of actually have to force these inside there. Well, that means that it's large enough that it's not going to get down into the tip of your paint bottles there. And because a lot of times agitators will just settle into the tip there and clog it up. If it does somehow work its way down in there, it's also got a hole in the middle. So that helps do it there. Now you got to make sure you get the stainless steel ones, but these work awesome. So the number 6-32 hex nuts stainless, amazing little agitators to put into your bottles. That helps keep things from getting as clumped up. The other thing I got is I just got a couple. I've got a little cork here, and I got a couple needles that I always have available to just stab my my paints to clear out the tip. Um, it is called the Ink Soul Vortex Mixer. I got it off of Amazon. I had a couple bookmarked, and they honestly like Vortex Mixer prices range from like $20 to like $100, and they all basically do exactly the same thing. And one that I put on there one day is going to be $20, the next day to be $80. The prices really, really bounce around. So I just waited until the price dropped on one of the multiple ones that I'd had on there, and then that's when I bought it. Also, just remembered that during the Black Friday sale, bought myself a copy of the Bunny Vix. I forgot about that, but I just remembered that just now. I figure I should probably just, I should do the standard Vix before I go and make their alternate version. But I just remember I have that and I'm like, oh, that'll be fun to paint when I get around to it. Add it to the never-ending pile of possibilities. All right. Back to her. Another little coat. Some other. Let's go. Add a little bit more. Inside the coat there. Oh, and other fun news. So, if any of you happen to live, happen to live in Texas, I am going to be teaching a painting class at the my local game store. They wanting to get me out to do this for a while. Just our schedules hadn't lined up yet. But at Dragon's Lair, Houston, we are going to be. I'll be teaching a painting class during their grand opening of their new space. So I have not had a chance to play with the Army Painter speed paints yet. They were at Las Vegas Open demoing them, but I was unable to. I was busy running things. I had about 15 minutes to escape during one of our lunch breaks, and all I was able to get was I went and got me some of the Pro Acryl primers, but didn't have a chance to actually go and try out the speed paints at their booth there. But everyone who I'd heard tried them out really, really liked them. If you go check on the YouTubes, Goobertown Hobbies did a really, really good systematic breakdown of the Army Painter speed paints, where he went and he systematically he got sent the entire range by Army Painter. Tried all of them. Oh yeah, he's a delightful guy. But so he did a very a long, I think it might have been like a 20-minute long video. It's a pretty long, in-depth video. And did a breakdown of all of the Army Painter speed paints. And what he thought of them. Yeah, I watched it the other day. I'm like, okay, that's it. This is, it looked like a really cool video. Good info. Because actually, I also chatted with some of the guys from Army Painter. They happened to be, coming around, checking out all the tables. And so as I was running the events over at the Malifaux tables, hey, what's up, Viruk? How you doing today, buddy? But yeah, as I was at the my tables running events, the Army Painter guys happened to be coming around. I don't remember which member of their team, because, hey, I'm certainly got a lot of people on their team. But one of the dudes came around and was chatting with me for a little bit, and kind of now discussing what they are and what they aren't. So that was useful. And because effectively they are analogous to the Citadel contrast paints. So they do the same kind of shading type thing that contrast paints do. That being said, he said that they are So what Goobertown Hobbies ended up goes over in his video is that apparently, and this is according to Goobertown Hobbies, I have not played with these at all yet, but what he shows in his video is that they managed to keep a more consistent pigment density across the range than the Citadel ones do, which is good. That's one of my major issues I have with Citadel paints. And if you notice, I do not use very many Citadel paints anymore. As you can tell from how I paint here, I do zenithal prime for pretty much almost everything I do. And then I kind of glaze over it. Well, unfortunately, Citadel paints are not great for glazing easily, in my opinion. Their pigment density varies wildly from paint to paint. And some of their darker colors have really high opacity, aka high coverage. And if you're glazing things, high coverage is a very, very bad thing. Because you want, you're playing up with the transparency of stuff. So over the past couple years, I've kind of moved away from using the Citadel paints and moved more towards using a lot of the Reaper MSPs, because I started out with the Reaper flesh tones. They just had a better range than the Citadel ones. And really better range than most anyone else I found. But then kind of expanded from there. I like the way they progress their paints through the range. Anytime I paint with Citadel paints, I frequently need to double check what the next paint in the line in order is, if I'm trying to go up chromatically, because they just have a name on them. That's all they got on them there. Fun thing with the Reaper paints is that it's got that number. So, hey, there we go. Deep red, then blood red, then fire red. And so that kind of goes up chromatically there. Normally I end up doing kind of a 50-50 mix between layers, but, it helps to know which one is next. Or if I happen to take my paints with me on the road somewhere, it helps me get them back organized. I told my friend about the Aphrodina augment for TTB. Hey, you know what? That's half the fun. That maybe it's their fate to die. But yeah, so Reaper does the triad things, but a lot of times their triads extend beyond just 3 colors. So that's always nice. Actually, oh, did I have more? Yeah, I got more leather here. Okay, her gloves. Let's get her gloves. And her gloves are. But yeah, so having those numbers on the Reapers really helps me to keep track of, what paint needs to be next. If I'm, just going up chromatically. And they have a more consistent pigment density, even down to their darker paints. Now, obviously, if it's darker paints are always going to be a little bit more opacity because, well, it's just dark. But they're not quite as opaque as the Citadel ones. So it's easier to lay in my darkest colors without covering up the zenithal work that I had done. So I really like these models for the Viktorias. So there's been quite several different, sculpts for them over the years. But I enjoy that, well, Victoria 1 and Victoria A look, obviously, one is the real one is a doppelganger. So they look, the same, but these two are actually, they're posed very differently. And I have, similar but slightly different outfits. So that's fun. So it doesn't end up being painting the same model twice, just in 2 different poses. I also really enjoy the new Ronin. So while I did enjoy the second edition Ronin sculpts, the second edition Viktorias sculpts, I was not as big of a fan of the Ronin. They kind of had these crazy punk rock anime hairstyles, I guess, and wildly impractical outfits. The outfits for, the new mercenary crew, these ones, and right here, actually, I've got them sitting right here. For the Ronin, if you look at those are a little bit more, okay, let's get me framed up. Yeah, those are a little bit more, practical for wearing into battle than what their old ones used to be. And so I appreciate that. Yeah, there's, the old Ronin just kind of, I don't know, they just always were not my favorite of sculpts. The new ones, oh man, they're pretty solid. They're, they look badass. See, almost, hey, they look like badasses, but their outfits were, I don't know, just did not scream practical to me. Under construct. Oh, there's a Tui Ronin story. How you doing today, Under Construction Paints? MDF Dust, what are you working on? Oh, fun. Sounds like something for MCP. it's time to do the red shirts. Take a quick look at their. Oh no, those are part of the same. You know what? Why did I? I'm crazy. That looks better here. I didn't cover. Just rolled up the sleeves on my coat. It's not that it's a sleeveless coat. That would make very little sense. Cyberpunk. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking it might be for like MCP because in Captain Marvel, uh, when she crashes to Earth, she lands in a blockbuster, which was delightful. My inner '90s child, just like hee hee hee. Oh yeah, and you know what? That works. Peak Malfo, pull Karina, pull it back through time. That'll work for me. I'm here for that. Alrighty. Let's do the red shirts. So I'm going to take a look at the art for other Vic real fast. Okay, yeah, so that is her shirt there. All that. Okay, cool. Totally works. Let's go with the Vortex Mixer. There you go. All right. Mix in some paint. In my paint. And popcorn does sound good, though. And I'm going to say this right now. There's part of me that will forever miss that feeling of going into a blockbuster on Friday night to pick out, a bunch of movies to watch over the weekend. It's a fond feeling from my childhood that obviously we can never quite get that one back. I mean, with streaming, obviously, hey, it's never out of stock. But there was something just fun about going and browsing those videos. Browsing the video cases. And finding weird new things that you never knew existed. Now, obviously, you can do that with stuff now. Oh, I'm procuring snacks. Oh, yeah. No, there's just something about it that if you didn't get to do that when you were a kid, oh, I'm sorry for you. uh, and even that, you know what? If you think about it, think back to like the 80s and whatnot, when before Blockbuster became the mega chain it was, there were also your, small local video shops. And those were fun because you never quite knew what you were going to get. So if you like, go back and watch the movie Clerks, like the little video shop that Randall worked at in Clerks, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's different. Completely agree with you on that there. You know, busting out some GoldenEye or Mario Kart. Oh man, that was fun. Oh, Vyrick, you love Clerks? Yeah. Apparently, they are making a Clerks 3. Or they have made it and they will be releasing it at some point. Oh, right, that is. All right, I think it is time to do a little bit of skin tones here. Skin tones and metals. Yep, that's what I'm going to do here. There we go. Oh, but hey, did you ever see Clerks the cartoon, though? Because they made a very short run animated series of Clerks. And that got weird. I have the entire series on DVD. It's, absolutely ridiculous. It's just a weird show. Oh my, yeah. I wasn't sure. That's one of those things where I'm not sure how well, that kind of thing translates into a foreign language. But yeah, they turned it into a cartoon. It was an odd cartoon. But back when they first started, it was one of the first shows I actually bought on DVD. Back when they started bringing back old TV shows on DVD. Because it was not a successful TV show. I could see that. See, I never really watched Beavis and Butthead, mostly because my parents wouldn't let me. It's one of those ones I got in trouble if I found out I watched that. Totally forgot to do sword grips. Doing that. Yeah, I wasn't, cool enough to watch MTV most of the time. If you couldn't guess, I was kind of a nerdy kid. I know. It's surprising, being that I'm clearly the coolest dude ever now. But I was definitely a very nerdy kid. Take this sword. Exactly. Eventually the world caught up with. I was ahead of my time. The world caught up with how cool I was because nerdy things are all the rage now. Oh, well, now they're starting out here. They're looking pretty good. Oh, right. Sip OT. It's actually a little bit chilly around here, so I'm actually drinking hot tea today. I know, it's craziness. go. Oh yeah, so anyone gotten any games in lately? So I ran the monthly tournament I run here in Houston over the weekend. It was good. Had a nice turnout. One of the guys who was coming out could only play in round one. So instead of, being in the tournament and kind of messing things up when he drops, we just played a game against each other. A fun, friendly game because we had an even number. Hooray! He straight up was like, yeah, I'll be the ringer if you need it, if we got an odd number. Otherwise, you and me can just play a game. So I just got to play against him, which was good fun. For those of you around the community who watch, Third Floor Wars or Steam Powered Scoundrels, etc., it was the Nick Westbrook who I got to play against. That was good times. Always enjoy playing against him. So that was fun. I was trying out the Rasputina with the new Abominable title. Yes, the Nick Westbrook. He's one of my local guys. And I enjoy playing games against him because he's a super nice dude. And also, his game has improved so much. He is such a better player than he was even just a year ago. And so I really, really enjoyed playing that game against him. Trying out the new... you know what? I'm going to say this right now. So Rasputina was my first master. I started playing when second edition, right after second edition launched. And Rasputina was my first master. I love Rasputina. But the way Untitled Rasputina plays in second edition does not fit the way I like to play. She's become much more of a controlly. I don't know. I don't enjoy playing Untitled Rasputina. She's not the Rasputina I know and love in my cold, dead, frozen heart. New Rasputina, so Rasputina with the Abominable title. Well, it's not quite old, glass cannon blasty Rasputina. I really enjoy it. Now, playing her is a lot of fun. It's, I'm still getting it figured out, learning what her crew can do. Because honestly, I play top of third edition. I played a couple of games with, original Rasputina, and just did not enjoy it. So I haven't really learned the December keyword all that well yet. So going in and learning Abominable Rasputina is like, okay, I'm kind of playing catch up here. All right, I'm going to switch over to metallics now and drop some metallics on her swords and stuff. But yeah, so I really enjoy it. Got to figure out the ins and outs of what the crew can do. And figuring out what to summon when. Since you can only really have the 3 summons there, a lot of summon masters, they're like and this is not my metallic. Why am I grabbing Midnight Blue? That's not the one I need. Need my Shadowed Steel. But yeah, so most of the summoners out there, their summon upgrade is a plentiful 5. Hers only ends up being a plentiful 3. So that strongly implies that she's not summoning every single turn. So if you got plentiful 5, you really want to be summoning, every single turn. At the very least, the first 4 and maybe not the last one. At least that's the way I feel about it when I play like the Dreamer. Dreamer be summoning. But having, plentiful 3, it, implies, okay, I gotta, not summon every turn. And so it's I think you're summoning more for a role there. It's not her only shtick, which feels nice to ever be a summoner and attacker master. I also feel like original recipe Raspy had to work too hard to get ice pillars out to really be able to blast people off the board. But dropping that ice pillar didn't do much else at the same time. So it felt really bad if your opponent could remove all of your ice pillars. Having that ice pillar drop as part of a shockwave is delightful. And that being her bonus action is nice. So I'm probably going to be playing around with her a whole bunch lately. Figure out what she does. But I was also playing into New Perdita. And I got to say, let's see, what's the title? Neverborn Hunter, I believe, is the New Perdita title. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'll call her. She's pretty spicy. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel dirty saying this, but it's got me looking at Guild. New Perdita and New Dashel. Some of the stuff that I've seen played with them on the table has got me eyeballing the Guild. I feel dirty saying that. I've always been very anti-Guild. I'm, Arcanist through and through. Union strong. But New Perdita looks like it looks like a lot of fun to play. And while it was definitely, gosh, he was playing it well. He has put in his reps with that crew and knows what it does and had it working really, really well. He had it fired on all cylinders. And it was strong and, oppressive in that he had me pinned down really well. And I was ultimately, it was a losing battle there. We didn't get a full game in because I was running the tournament. We were just playing friendly, and had to, go and do calls, etc. You know, I had to run the tournament. We ended in either I won by 1 point or it was a tie. He had loaned his phone that had the Malifaux app on it to one of the other players whose app was malfunctioning and just wanted to get up and running instead of messing around with it for 30 minutes. They got it fixed anyways, but so he couldn't remember which model he'd taken Vendetta with. And so either he scored it or I had prevented him from scoring it by stoning with some, because it was between one or two models that he had it on. And one of them I would have prevented from getting Vendetta. The other one would have scored it, but we're not sure which one he'd had it on. So I'm not sure if he scored it or not. So it was either a tie between us or a win on my part at the point we had to end the game. But it was fun. It was good fun. I posted a photo from that game up in the a weird place on Saturday because it was enjoyable. I finally got to actually play on the casino table I had designed. And while I, had these tables, I hadn't actually played a game on one of them yet. So that was good times. And so I posted a photo because it was kind of hilarious because Abuela decided that, the lack of ADA compliance within the Honeypot Casino was not going to keep her from getting in on the action. And he had Nick drove her wheelchair up on top of it was just sitting on top of a roulette table. I'm like, not quite sure how that works, but I guess it does. I mean, to be fair, her wheelchair does have that steam boiler on the back, so I guess she can get up there. It was quite hilarious. We had a good chuckle over that one. And other people on A Weird Place have also found it quite amusing. So, short story long, I enjoy Abominable Rasputina. Of course, let's be honest, you're all here to listen to me tell long stories. You're my captive audience. All right. Other Vic. Yeah, you know what? I've been seeing some solid stuff now. Hoffman apparently is very, very strong. I've seen him mostly run in Arcanist, though. So I don't know if there's something particular in Arcanists or in that is not in Guild that Hoffman brings that makes it more powerful. But imagine, he's still pretty solid in, Guild. The obviously I was talking about the new Perdita there. Looks delightful. There's some absolutely just crazy stuff they can pull off there. With all that card draw, so they do all that. Yeah, that is nice for with Hoffman on the Arcanist side. And I definitely, when I've been running Rasputina, I've been putting the Soulstone use on my Ice Golem. Because quite frankly, that Ice Golem without Soulstones is he's got a big target on his chest and not as much survivability as I would like. But the nice thing with Abominable Raspy is, so she's got that thing where anytime her models are pushed, if they've got shielded 1 or less, they gain shielded. So I'm still working on getting, faster and better at this. But the unpack that I've been finding with the Abominable Raspy is to do basically Snowstorms drops the his shockwave right in the middle of her crew. Everyone scoots, does it again. Everyone scoots, and everyone. So you get that movement. Because to be honest, December's a little bit slow. But you get those scoots, and you get the shielded. And so I found that having that on the Ice Golem, having shielded 2 plus armor 2 plus being inside Snowstorm's bubble was absolutely ridiculous. So he could he was reducing damage by 5 down to 0 from guns. Well, not by the. Yeah, it was reducing damage by. So 2 armor, shielded, plus 2 more. Yeah, no. So reducing damage by 5 down to a 0 if it was a shot from a gun. Which most of the stuff from the Perdita and Friends was guns. So he had to get to do enough damage to do anything to that golem. He had to get it outside of Snowstorm's little bubble. So that was fun. I enjoyed that. So it's nice to get, Raspy back on the table. Yeah, as far as other guild stuff goes, like I said, Perdita's crew looks like a lot of fun. New Dashel, oh, now that looks scary. Ooh, Mama Moth. Let me know how that goes. That is one of those ones where I haven't looked at her as closely, but she looks interesting. I'm going to be, I ended up playing, so I didn't play the second round because we had an even number, and, Nick ended up rolling homeward. But then we had a guy who had to leave early, so I ended up playing his ringer final round. And played against Zoraida. And Zoraida's always fun. All right. What am I going to paint? It's time to do their hair. I think it's time to do some hair because that's fun. Who's going to get what color hair? All right. I think you're getting green hair. Purple hair. Pink hair. I think you get pink hair. Gotta grab my pinks. Figure out which pink to start out with. That's top pink. All right. So I'm busting out the cuttlefish colors from a paint range made by Cephalopod Studios, who's another paint streamer. I think I'm going to start with Valley Girl Pink. Here's where I need to get on. Yeah, Valley Girl Pink is where I need to start for what I'm playing with today. Cloak. All right. Splashes on here. All right, let's see how this goes. Oh, that's nice. I dig that. Been looking for a project to play around with these cuttlefish colors on. So, I think I'll actually go with the purple hair for other Vic. I got a bunch of purples that I got picked up from him. I haven't had a chance to try out yet. So I think I'm going to go with purple for that. It's going really nice. A nice magenta. Look at that. Oh, I haven't looked at those yet. Did the galleries just go up? Yeah, the stream is lagging. Hopefully you can hear my voice and not, my voice isn't lagging. Keep you entertained with the dulcet tones of my lovely voice. Hey, Lord Rochard, how you doing today? So, play weird. Are the galleries live there for the Bloody Valentine entry? Even if I don't, I didn't have an entry in it this time. It's been too busy with LVO and everything else. Deadline is tonight. Okay, cool. Well, I'm not going to have time to get anything in. Because literally everything I've been painting lately, I've been painting on stream. The last couple of times I've tuned in on been able to tune into the other Play Weird streamers, the video's been a little laggy too, but the audio's been good. So it's good to know it's not just a me thing, I guess. But that is never happy times when when the stream is lagging for anyone. Because we want to give you the best possible entertainment. Well, we're doing the paint streaming thing now too. I like to be able to stream anything I'm painting. Also, I'm flattered you think so highly of my painting skills. There's certainly those days where I feel like, oh, I can't do anything right. Yeah, I like that with that pink hair there. Gonna let that dry a little bit. We're putting another coat. Put a little bit under, a little more can go on the underside. that's fun. That's a fun. It's gonna be fun. All right, trying to figure out the purple for the other one's hair. All right, let's grab those purples that I have and see what colors they are. So I've been looking forward to trying these out. I just haven't had a project where I needed purple on them yet. So we got Warlock purple. We've got Chronomancer purple. It's darker than that. We got Lily Dragon. We got Princess purple, and then we got Lovely Demon. Probably not going to go all the way up to that. So let's try Chronomancer, and Warlock, and Lily Dragon. Actually, you know what? I think Warlock is where I want to start with this. So Warlock and then Lily Dragon is probably what I want to do for this. Sure you're not clogged. Alrighty. Yeah, I think this will be perfect. Oh, that actually might be a little bit brighter than I wanted. All right, I'm going to go with the Chronomancer purple. Yeah. Start out a little bit darker there. I'd rather go dark and then work my way up. Okay, that looks like it got separated a little bit there. Which happens sometimes. All right. Let's see how this looks. Not all of it. Let's try it. That's better. go. I'm enjoying that they got purple hair and pink hair. That's fun. Oh, this is a way I can tell them apart on the table. Say, hey, purple-haired Vic. Hey, pink-haired Vic, etc., etc. Yes, nice. Time to go back and add another cut of the pink to that there. Let's try. Alrighty, there we go. Now, while I'm waiting for the pinks and the purples to dry, I am going to do a little bit of pin wash with my Gnome oil on the metallics. Just to get a little more shading back into those, because the metallics tend to be pretty opaque. And lose a lot of the zenithal nature of those there. So, a little bit of pin wash on the metallics. Adds a little more depth. This is a fun model. These are fun models to paint. I'm excited to be painting this crew. It's a good, fun time. Huzzah. There we go. So what's everyone else got going on lately? Oh, there you are. Looking for a paint bottle. Hiding amongst all the other paint bottles. Oh, that's never happy times. I always hate coming home or waking up to find a failed print. Always makes me sad. Purple. There we go. That's fun. Okay. Aren't they looking fun so far? Sure, framed up nice today. We got pink and we got purple, which they look good together, but you can tell them apart. Alrighty. Your yellow sign themed Doomseeker this. Oh, nice. That's fun. I'll have to check this out. I do enjoy a nice Carcosa thing themed set. I'll have to look at those. Make sure you share those. Alrighty. Well. I think before I mess up her face, I'm gonna go and do her eyes. I know this is always that part that sucks to do, but I'm gonna do her eyes before I get her face looking nice. This one at least has large enough eyes to do something to. You also. There we go. Just enough eyes. Oh yeah, that could be a real pain to do. Actually, camera there. Yeah, magnets are always one of those things that when I use them, I get so worried. Because if I put them, one in the opposite way, just go whoop. There we go. Just enough eye dots in there to make it look reasonable, but not going full on bright white. Hey, McBluff, you're back. All right. Well, let's see. I think on you, I need to do some work on your leg. Decided to go with, kind of a pink and purple hair. It's going to end up being a little more towards the bubblegumish pink there towards the end of it. But, getting that nice deep magenta there to start out with. And also there are leather straps under her armor plates. I had not thinking of it. And her gun. What color shall her gun? Yeah, let's go now. All right. Time to bust out the next red. Scoop down to the side. Okay. Actually, I should probably. Yeah, I'll do the red. Red, blood red up next. Probably don't want you to go to 50-50 on that. Mixing up my paint. 50-50 mix. There we go. Project on. I saw I don't remember who it was who did that, but yes, I saw that same illustration and it looked awesome. They posted that in a weird place. I don't remember who it was who drew it, though. Kimberly, do you know who did that one? Okay, cool. Can always count on Kimberly to be on top of that kind of thing. I love it whenever I get to see the cool art that other people in the Malifaux community does. Always fun to see. Brighten up some red. And we love your fan art too, McBluff. I love it anytime I see something new that you put out. Heck yeah, that is awesome. That's the kind of thing that a community just thrives on, you know? I need to pick up. I wanted to make a me Malifaux Master Valentine. Oh, that'd be fun. That would be fun. I would love to. A great one for Rasputina. I love you from the bottom of my frozen heart. Let's go get a bite to eat. Ayo! Because she's a cannibal? Well, I mean, it's one of those things I always just kind of mention when I'm filling in people about the lore of Malifaux. You know, because like people, when I'm at the game store and I'm giving a description of what the game is and what, kind of craziness there is when it comes to what leaders you can have. I'm like, oh, and yeah, over here, they're using Rasputina, who's an ice witch. I describe her as really angry Elsa, who also happens to lead a cult of cannibals. And it always gets a chuckle out of people. Yes, one of Malifaux's multiple serial killers. Wait, which one? Oh, it's the one with the top hat. Wait a minute. They both have top hats. That to be red on your sword handle. Alrighty there. Go up full time. Yeah, Malifaux is definitely a dangerous place. Yeah, well, quite frankly, if you see someone in Malifaux with a top hat, there's a good chance that it will not end well for you. Okay, so let's see. Models with top hats in Malifaux. So we got, obviously Seamus. We got the Midnight Stalker. So Kavatica. Does Kavatica have a top hat, or is that a bowler hat? I can't remember off the top of my head. Top hat on Kvetica. Let's see. Somer's got a top hat. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a good one. That's a deeply, disturbingly, delightfully good one. Let's see, and yeah, Nicodem, yeah. Well, Nicodem doesn't have a hat, doesn't have a top hat anymore because he's dead. But he used to have a top hat, you know, before he died. Oh, we're just what we were talking about, you know, top hats. You know, if you're in Malifaux and you see someone with a top hat, you should run away. They're probably dangerous. Yeah, top-headed people in Malifaux are, you know, sketchy. But to be fair, how often do you see in this day and age? How often do you see someone wearing a top hat? If I were just wandering around today, and I saw someone wearing a top hat, um, I might be a little concerned because it tends not to be a fashion choice you see on a regular basis in modern society. don't know. Most of the goths I see aren't, really the hatched type. It's more the top hats tend to be more the steampunk crowd, I guess. Yeah, you know what? I'd say most of the Neverborn are kind of not, bad people. Okay, yeah. The Dreamer, not a good person, but he's a human. He's not. He's in the Neverborn faction, but he is not himself a Neverborn. And Lord Chompy Bits was, a tyrant. But if you take a look, Zoraida, just trying to prevent the end of the world. Lilith was, just trying to, keep the humans out of their territory. Humans are the interlopers. Titania, oh man, she's the one who killed kind of killed the tyrants. So Titania, that's just, she's just a good queen. What's a human? We should get rid of them. Thank you for that one. Still waiting for us to get, an Oberon. We don't have Oberon in Malifaux yet. I feel like we need Oberon. Also, Puck. We need Puck. Oh, that'd be fun. Yes, I would like to hear your quasi theory. I'm always up for hearing people's theories about Malifaux stuff. Musing, theory, conjecture. Really, any of those I'm okay with. I eagerly anticipate your musing theory. Alrighty. Reds are looking good there. Let's go with our jeans, I think. It's time to do some jean work there, since that's kind of on the inside there. Blue, twilight blue. My tummy's gurgling. Getting ready for dinner. What do I get for dinner? Ooh, I got tacos tonight. That's exciting. It's not a Doug stream if I don't talk about food, right? Shredded chicken. So one of my favorite recipes to do in the crock pot, I take a bunch of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, season them up with Mexican spices, put them in the crock pot, and then cover the whole thing in a jar of salsa. And then I cook that on low for about 6 hours, and then I shred it. And it is delicious. Super easy to make. You can do it in the middle of the week when you know you don't want to be cooking. It makes a whole bunch of great leftovers. Looks like McBluff dropped a book in our laps here. All right, what's this say? So this is your theory. So basically, Oberon and some of the Fae at some point, either by Titania or the Tyrants or some other force, got transported Earthside to High Brazil, a mythical island off the coast of Ireland, and couldn't return to Malifaux. So from there, they spread outward, sharing stories of their home with the humans. Then Oberon, aided by the creation of Bran's Cauldron, as it's highly impressive that humans could make such an... Oh, okay. That would actually kind of fit. So Titania brought the Grey Spirit to Malifaux, and Oberon helped make an item that nearly sent it entirely away. Okay. That's I like that theory. I like that one under construction. All right. I think it's time to do a little bit of work on the cloak there. Did muddy brown. Let's go with earth. Manhattan Project for the Malfa. You know what? That works for me. And if the designers that are all are listening, I'm okay with that. If they go and grab some of our delightful ideas and put them into the lore, that would be wonderful. You know what we need? And I've been saying this at my local tournaments lately. Oh, Dreamer Story, we're in Lord Chompy Bits, is actually a little bit of evil Lilo and Stitch going on there. But I think we need a model with the infamous and performer keyword. Because you know what? They got all of those piano markers with a zip. Got all those piano markers. And no one is playing the piano. So I feel like we need a I think we need a infamous performer named Jelly Bowl, the piano man. And I want them to be like playing a piano as they're riding. Like so the model I can picture this in my head. They're riding a piano as it's falling from the sky, wearing a cowboy hat and like yee-haw. So it's got, you know, you got your piano man reference there. You got your you know, we're up playing the piano with the performer, and then you got your Dr. Strangelove reference. Yeah, Jilly Bowl. And riding a piano falling from the sky like that guy in Dr. Strangelove. Yeah, see? Wouldn't that be amazing? Yeah, Zip is Rocket Man. And so you obviously need another great piano player. So you got Rocket Man, and then you got, Jilly Bowl. Hydrate for a moment here. Mm-hmm. Tasty, tasty hydration. Lets me keep on painting. Okay, got about 15, 20 minutes left. Good to know. This is going to be a fun. I'm enjoying painting this keyword. This is a fun keyword to paint. Okay. Do, 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 do. Painting up a brown cloak, painting up a brown coat. Okay, yeah, I guess I do sing occasionally here. I don't always notice when I make up songs about things, apparently. I always have trouble with big flowing coats and capes and that stuff. So, when it comes to capes and cloaks and that, I'm using my largest brush. I mean, the largest of my normal painting brushes, and I go with very thin down paint. I mean, I thin it with the Lamy medium instead of water because it keeps from splitting the paint, and it ends up. I really do go back and forth between shadow and highlight. If you're watching what I'm doing here a little bit, sometimes I'm going back to the shadow color that I got here. Sometimes I'm going back to the midtone, and I've been going back and, maybe darkening up the shadows, re-wetting them a little bit, kind of doing a wet blend back and forth. That's the way to really get the best smooth transitions on, a large flowing cloak. Or something got into mouth back into knew nothing about the previous editions, but the past year learning about them and learning Molly's abilities were named for lyrics from Little Talks. Oh, it's fun. I'd never noticed that. I love that song. Yeah, when it comes to these big flowing cloaks and capes, large brush, very thin paint, and kind of you got to work it back and forth between your shadow colors and your midtones and highlights. So very thin paint when it comes to a flowing cloak or something. That way you can, work it back and forth. You work it between the highs and lows smoothly without just glooping up too much paint on it. I mean, you should always be working with thin paint. But when it comes to doing, cloak or something, it needs to be very thin. To help get nice, smooth transitions. And then also using a large brush helps to kind of hide your brush marks and allows you to kind of feather the edge a little bit more. And so I'm excited. In a couple weeks here, I'm actually going to be teaching a painting class at my local gaming store as part of their the grand opening of their new space. They basically more than double and a half their space in a same shopping center just down the way a little bit. So I'm super excited for that. And they asked me to teach a paint class there, so that'll be fun. If you're in the Houston area, could maybe see if they've got any more spots left. Last I checked, they had 3. So, if you're in the Houston area and want to come out and learn how to paint some more, the 26th at Dragon Lairs Houston. So I am going to be, so I've got these WizKids have actually got these little paint night kits now. Bunch of D&D models. And the owner there has been, running some paint nights using those. So it's a paint kit that is a model and it comes with some paints in it. Now it uses paints that are not the brand I normally use. So I'm going to be, playing around with that a little bit beforehand, just to learn how those paints work. But then I'm also going to be teaching them how I go about painting. So I'm going to take the models are, one of those ones that's pre-primed, ready to go. I'm going to be going back and showing them how I do a zenithal prime and how I paint over a zenithal prime. So anyone who's been coming to, he's got a lot of people who've been coming to these on a regular basis. Well, I want to, help them level up their painting. But I was like, oh man, I've never taught a paint class before. I'm really nervous about it. But I'm like, wait a minute. I already kind of do that here, 3 hours a week. So frankly, I just need to gather up my thoughts and be able to teach it in one cohesive thing there. So should actually work out pretty well. So I'm excited. Let's get next. Okay, what do I got? I got about 5 minutes left there. Oh man, where'd time go? Time is flying. Well, you know what? I think I will actually, because it's going to take a little while to go back on the next part with those. Where did I put that? So I'm just going to get in here. So yeah, I'm going to next week. I will be continuing on these, continuing where we left off. But as long as you still got me here, I'm going to go and hit these metallics again. There you are. Hello. Yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm Guslato. I'm Top Doug Design. I'm Doug. Shenanigans. I'm made of shenanigans. That's why you all come here, right? Come for the painting, stay for the shenanigans. Just real. Look at that. Her gun is absolutely massive. It's like the length of her femur. That is a ridiculously massive gun. I just noticed this. Like, look at that. Look at the size of that gun. That's insane. I love it. Seriously, look at that. It's like the length of her femur. We've got about 3 minutes. That's enough time to get a little more done on this. There we go. And so we, took the metals, based them in this, washed them down. Now we're starting to highlight them back up. I'm just looking at that gun and going, man, that gun is almost as long as her sword. That's kind of crazy, right? I just find it very, very amusing. Then when you think about the Vicks, you think about swords. But man, she's got a big old gun right there. Oh, man. I'm very happy with how these models are looking so far. These are going to be fun to finish, and I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to get this. That we'll be able to get both of the Vicks finished up next stream. So I will be back next Monday, same time, same station, same models. But, we made some very good progress here. I wanted to paint them at the same time so that, they're twins. They'd, look very similar together. So this is what we got here at the end of the day. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Stay weird, everyone. Have a great night.